Hodge.
Hey everybody, Nintendo Hodge back with another pickup video. This one's a little bit of a special pickup video. It is exclusively NES titles. I have not picked up any NES games in a very, very long time, and I'm kind of venturing into some new territory here. I'm actually going to try to collect, let's say, about 600 of the 677 licensed NES games. The reason I say 600 is because once you hit that mark, there are some very, very high valued games that I can never see spending the money to own. If somehow I can manage to find it cheap at a yard sale, thrift store, or maybe I buy some lots cheap, recoup some cost, and I'm able to flip those towards trade, then maybe I can do that. Like I don't ever see myself owning a little Samson or something like that. Who knows? So yeah, this is kind of a new set of series and new pickups where I'm going to be trying to get to, let's say, 600 of 677 licensed NES games. So, yeah, why am I doing this? I've never really been a complete set collector before. It's just not something I ever wanted to do. There's a lot of filler games that aren't very good, but I have a lot of love and history for the NES. One of the very first systems I ever played. Just the nostalgia. It's NES, Mario, Nintendo. Like, everybody has their favorites. The NES is one of mine. So I also like to have gaming goals. I said this in a comment to somebody on one of my Instagram's posts that goals are good to have, and this is a marathon, not a race, so I don't anticipate doing this anytime soon. I am currently, with all of the games that you're going to see here, sitting at 189 NES titles. Since I decided to do this, I think I was at about 167, 168, so I've added quite a few. The ones that you're going to see here, I went and made a trade with a bunch of stuff I had at a new game store that opened up recently in Barrie, Retro Chase Games, opened by a friend of mine named Bobby. If you are in the Barrie area or nearby, definitely go check it out. Awesome store. Glad that he's opened up in Barrie. And yeah, so I think kind of covered everything I want to talk about here with regards to that. So now I will go through my pickups. The first one here isn't an actual licensed NES game. It's a Comerica game, and this is MiG-29. The reason I grabbed this is I haven't ever really seen it anywhere out in the wild. I have most of the Comerica games, so if I could complete that set, it would be kind of cool. There's a few of them that are hard to find. I've never really even seen them. Like there's a Dizzy game, Linus Spacehead game that are kind of standalone games. They are also on the 4-packs, which I own, but I've never seen them out in the wild, so I don't know if I'll ever see them. I think they're fairly expensive, but this one wasn't that bad, and it was a trade, so yeah, we added this one to the Comerica set. Next one we have here is Mag Max. Never played this one before. I actually purchased this off eBay, and it's a horizontal shooter. Kind of fun. I enjoyed it. Decent shaped cart, and it was free shipping, fairly local to me. They have a few more games that I'm kind of eyeing, but I'd love to be able to hook up with them locally to try to get them a little bit cheaper. Yeah, so Mag Max. Of course, as I said, the reason I never really collected before is because of all the filler titles. So the first few you're going to see are filler, which I'm going to need to get now to complete the collection or to get to my goal of 600. But they're still okay games, and back in the day, these were cutting edge, and there's a few here I remember playing that I enjoyed. So I've actually played all of these, tested them out, made sure they work, and just brought back some memories playing them. First we have Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. We've got Jordan versus Bird 1-on-1. This one's kind of boring. Might be funner to play with a friend. We have Sesame Street 1, 2, 3. This isn't the one I played as a kid. There is another Sesame Street game that I don't own that I played as a kid. I had a lot of fun with it. Not this one. I did play this one, and I don't recall ever playing it to test it out. What NES collection is not complete without a copy of Othello? Copy of Mission Impossible. I'd never played this one before. It's actually fairly difficult. Like the very first map you're walking around on, I tried to beat up a guy, and then a helicopter comes in and like takes me out. So need to read up on how to play this one properly. Copy of Xenophobe. I used to own this one, but traded it away or sold it a while back. Not that good of a game. I believe it's the Master System has the better version of this. We have NES Open, of course, with Mario on the cover there. One that I surprisingly had never played, and I actually kind of like it, Pipe Dream. It's one of those like puzzle games. You put the pipes together, eventually the water starts flowing through them, and you need to try to make it as long of a path as you can. It's funny, the Sesame Street game that I remember playing had something similar to it, but it was just like it from this point to this point, where this one you just got to go all over the map. Getting into some of the better titles, a copy of Viper, Capcom game. The Three Stooges, this one's okay. I never had any history with it for a kid. I know there's a lot of videos out there. I know Pam from Cannot Be Tamed did one, and Pat the NES Punk did one as well. Another Capcom game, and that is Trojan. This was okay. I've never played it before, but plopped it in, played it for 15-20 minutes. Kind of fun. Tecmo World Wrestling. This one here, my fingers hurt. You got to mash those buttons, getting some NES fingers back when I was playing it. A lot of fun. Tecmo does a lot of great games for the NES. Speaking of Tecmo, we have Star Force. This one was pretty fun. I had never played it before. I enjoyed it. We have a is it Koei game? No, not Koei. What is this one? I think it's an actual Nintendo game, Phantom Fighter. I never played this one before. I really like the cover art on this, and then just the color of the cart. I don't know why. It's just kind of cool looking. This one here, I don't think I've ever seen this before. I tried it and I enjoyed it, but I know it's one I'm going to read up on how to play properly, and it's Palamedes, I believe is how it's pronounced. But basically, it's a puzzle game where you're shooting dice number 1 through 6 up to the screen, and if you hit a 1, they disappear, and so on and so forth. But looking at the cover here, and I'll show that again, you can do different combos and things to get better points and scores. So I didn't realize that. I was just doing a 1 gets rid of a 1, a 2. So if you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row, I think you get better combos. And there's other different, almost like Yahtzee style in it. So I haven't seen this one ever before. And I picked it up right away just because I hadn't seen it. I don't think it's a rare or hard to find one. If you look on eBay, you can see them there. And then the last one I added, this one, I didn't expect to add a quote-unquote expensive game. Anything above $50 I consider deemed an expensive game. This one I think sits around the $80 or $90 price tag. Again, it was all trade credit. It's stuff I had gotten at yard sales and thrifting. I've already made my money back on most of it, so I brought it with me, and I got some good store credit. And that one is Toki. I actually have the Genesis Toki going ape spit, and I have the Nintendo Switch remake of the Toki. This one I prefer over the Genesis one, and the Nintendo Switch one is definitely very difficult. This one wasn't so difficult, quite fun, very nice clean cart. So I was very happy to actually add this into the collection. It's one I didn't think I would add anytime soon, so very cool. Yeah, so that is it. My quest to 600, we could say. I don't know. It's a marathon, like I said, not a race, so I'm not in any rush. Very excited to do this, though. It's kind of reinvigorated my collectingness, that I have some goals now, and that's NES. I'm not going to not collect for other systems. If there's something that comes along that I want or intrigues me, of course I'll pick it up, but my main focus will be on NES stuff. I'm going to get these put on the shelf over there now. I have to do some readjusting and think I'm gonna have to move my N64 stuff somewhere else. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not done with Flipper Flop. Things have been quiet on eBay with Flipper Flop. We had a garage sale this past weekend, and I sold a bunch of games there. I think I sold a couple $100 worth of games, so I got to update my spreadsheets for those. And I have lots of new stuff that I'm going to put out. I don't know how I'm going to approach the Flipper Flop. I know people really enjoyed this series, and I enjoyed doing it. It's a lot more work to record it and to edit it and stuff like that. So I might just try to find a better way to do it. But it's not going away. I will come back with another one at some point, just update everybody where I'm at. All right, that is it for the first episode in my NES quest to 600. Yeah, all right. Thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram because that's where I put all my posts up to show what I pick up for NES games and where I'm at. Like I said, I'm sitting at, I believe it was 179, or is it 189? Just a second. We're going to double check that. No, I can't double check that because I'm recording on my phone. I think it's 179. I was at 180 or 181. But I had to remove the two Tenjin licensed games. I own the unlicensed Tenjin ones, but it's, I believe it's Ms. Pac-Man, and there's another one that were actually licensed to the NES, Gauntlet, I think it was. So I don't own those one. I own the Tenjin versions, but not the Nintendo licensed version, the Grey Cards. So I actually had to remove them, so I was subtracted a couple off because of that. So, all right, thanks again for watching, everybody, and we will see you in the next video.